Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Tembe Elephant Park here in Maputo land, South Africa. It is a lovely sunny Tuesday afternoon, and we have been blessed with another elephant pool party. How lucky are we? So my name is Kerry Dupree, folks, and I will be your naturalist presenter for the afternoon. So please join in, and if you want to send any questions or comments, just a reminder that this is a live and interactive experience. So if you're watching on our app or on the website, please feel free to register and ask any questions, chip in, let me know how your day is going, what birds you would like to see today, some of your special sightings from our locations. We had a pretty epic sighting yesterday of lions here at Tembe, so that was pretty awesome to start off our Monday. So, of course, you can also use the QR code on screen if you want to send through those questions. Don't forget to use the hashtag @WildEarth while you are on Twitter or X and join in the conversation, folks. What a lovely way to start the day. Elephant pool party. Temperatures must be rising in Tembe at the moment. We're having so many elephants enjoying the pool party. Getting nice and cool, cooling off after a hot day in the African bush. We also have with us, just on the bank here, some yellow-billed storks. Nice to see some yellow-billed storks coming in since yesterday. Got 4 on this side of the bank, and there looks like there's another side of the bank there. Some little storks coming to join us today for live at the waterhole. Catherine, I know yesterday we were all discussing about our afternoon tea sessions, and I just went for my usual afternoon tea with rusks. I had a little bit too much on my plate, so didn't quite have enough time to go and get all plump like our warthogs on the show yesterday and buy some very fattening treats. So I just went for the healthier route, just for a nice tea and rusks. But thank you for making scones for live at the waterhole, Catherine. I'm sure you're going to enjoy your nice warm scones while you watch this afternoon's live at the waterhole with us. Nothing better than a good scone with some strawberry jam and fresh cream. Joanne Mello, welcome back for this Tuesday session. Good to see you with us again. Lovely to have everybody back. Frank Ramatra, very excited to see this elephant pool party. Shame they really are making quite a mess of all the vegetation and reeds down there. If there were any water birds nesting there, I hope they very quickly evacuate. And we have a little bee eater that has just landed on the left-hand side of the screen, just above this elephant that's feeding at possibly where the inlet pipe is. 2 little bee eaters that have just joined us. Little bright rays of sunshine. I must say, bee eater is one of my favorite bird families, and my totem bird family too. They are bright, colorful, full of life energy, and bounce all over the place. They never sit too long at one time, so nice to see these little bee eaters on the left there, posing so nicely for us. Check out these beautiful bee eaters. Shame we're just trying to get a bit of focus in there. Bright red eye, got some nice little blue patches underneath the chin, bright yellow and green. Look at those iridescent colors. Isn't that beautiful? Welcome back, Cat Fan and Jennifer. Good afternoon, good afternoon. So lovely to have everyone with us today. And what a good way to start off the show. Elephant pool party and these little bee eaters. Give a bit of a listen for their sound. I can hear them vocalizing. So the bee eaters are quite tricky to get photos of sometimes, I must say, but if you can get a picture of them swooping in for a little insect or a bee, it's always a great photo. Or above the water, they often like swoop above the water for a bit of a drink, but they are quite they are fond of their perching spot. So if you can find a little spot where they keep perching, they'll generally come back to that perching spot after hawking for insects. That's when it's nice to get that very dramatic photo of the bee eater coming in with its wings open. Nisi, welcome to the show today. I hope you are going to have a lovely afternoon with us. And yes, I love bee eaters. They are very beautiful little birds, and this is, yeah, probably one of my best sightings of bee eater on the live waterhole, sitting on an acacia branch there. See the bottom of an elephant just on the corner of screen as these elephant bulls get up to no good and play like little children in the swimming pool. So the little bee eaters, as with its name, is one of the small of the bee eater families. You do get the very beautiful bright pink carmine bee eaters, which are very characteristic and very much well known in the Zambezi Valley. And obviously you get the red-fronted bee eater, a bit more common. And then also get your olive bee eaters, swallowtail bee eaters. Looks like there was a kudu that came down to join us on the right there. And if you have a look on the left of the screen, you've got two elephant bulls just having the best time play fighting with each other. Some other bulls are also feeding on the vegetation on the side. Why don't we have a bit of a quiet moment to just listen? There's a lot of interesting birds calling. So, and also just watch these elephants having a pool party. Oh, we've got some warthogs down there that have also come to join us. So, why don't we just have a bit of a quiet time to just enjoy, watch these elephant bulls fighting in the water. What a lovely sight to watch. These elephants having a pool party here in Tembe Elephant Park in South Africa. These bulls are having the best time, I must say. It is some of my most fondest memories of elephants are watching them swim, because it doesn't matter how big these elephants are, they still have the absolute best time playing with each other. It's like they get taken back to their childhoods and just let go and have a good time. Generally, it tends to be the bulls that will spend a lot more time playing in this deep water like this. Females and calves will generally stick to the edges, whereas the elephant bulls, they're not really afraid of much. So they will go right into the middle of the pans and just have the best time. So Tembe has been quite a productive location lately, I must say. We had an elephant pool party yesterday, and yeah, it's looking lovely and green compared to some of our other locations. All the acacias here at Tembe and a few of the looks like some of the kigelias or trichulias have also started flushing the green leaves. So it's Tembe is definitely one of the hotspot locations for the week so far. So we've got a few questions here from Michael Kolach. Is asking about the lifespan of an elephant. So generally elephants, it's like some of our tuskers, like 1 ton, you're looking at about anything from about 50 to 55 years. I believe they've put 1 ton's age, and he is quite a mature elephant. I know there has been some elephants in captivity that have lived up to the age of about 60, or I think the oldest recorded elephant was 62. But again, it is quite difficult to get an exact reading or estimate on the age. So all these numbers are kind of just an estimate. But generally in the wild, I'd say a good lifespan of an elephant bull would be about 45 to 50 years of age. So, Kaden, thanks again for your comment about the playful elephants. They definitely are having a great time playing about with one another. So Viv is asking about if elephants can drown while playing in the water. So elephants actually, as you can see, are pretty good swimmers, I must say. And this water here is obviously not deep enough that they can still stand. Yeah, you can see them standing. I've actually seen elephants crossing the Zambezi River, which is really amazing to see them crossing the river. And as soon as they lose their footing and the water becomes too deep, they almost cross in a line. And what the little babies do is they hold onto the mother's tail. So they'll be in a single file line, one behind the other, and the little babies will be holding onto the mother's tail so as not to get lost. It's quite interesting, this bull on the left-hand side that's mounting the other bull, giving him a hard time, is you can see his trunk has a little bit of a yeah, there we go. You can see his trunk is not quite a full length. I think it could have been caught by something. Often elephants do get their trunks caught in snares. Shame, I have seen quite a few elephants with their trunks that have been actually caught by snares, or baby elephants. Again, quite common. If lions manage to get a hold of a baby elephant, I've seen a few baby elephants getting their trunks half eaten off by lions. But I've also recently seen an elephant that got a thorn in the side of its trunk, which actually caused a very bad infection and caused the tip of its trunk to actually fall off. So it's not always necessarily caused by a snare, although that is a very high chance. There are other reasons an elephant could be missing a piece of his trunk, but it's incredible how these animals adapt. I knew one elephant for about 15 years that her mother got killed and she was left alone, and hyenas got a hold of her and managed to also again eat off half her trunk, and she was left with a very little stump of trunk, and she managed to adapt and evolve to kneeling down and using her foot as a leverage to help her feed. So it's really incredible how no matter what happens to all these wild animals, they always are so resilient and find a way to survive. Mr. Aristotle Slicer, I must say this is a huge treat to be able to watch these elephants swimming like this. It just brings you back to your childhood as well. Shame. The elephant bull on the left-hand side seems to have quite a lot of tears in his ears. Could be from vegetation, could be from fighting with other bulls. You can see both of his ears on both sides have tears. And we have a little Nyala family that's coming down to join us for a drink today. So yes, Catherine, we've got some African jacanas with us today. So yesterday we did pretty well on our bird list. I was pretty impressed. We got 22 birds yesterday at Live at the Waterhole. And the birds are doing pretty well today. We've got obviously some yellow-billed storks here. We have some African jacanas bouncing around. We also have some Egyptian geese that kind of reside at this pan. And I have seen a black crake here once or twice before. We got some really nice little bee eaters at the beginning of the show, just showing themselves off a little bit, how beautiful they are. Got some dark-capped bulbuls calling, and there is also a resident brown-hooded kingfisher that is also calling somewhere in the distance. So the woodland kingfisher, it's kind of out of season for them at the moment, so they should have left already. So woodland kingfishers are intra-African migrants, so they would be in West Africa at the moment or making their way up through Africa. Nice Nyala bull there on the right, and all of his ladies coming for a drink. Isn't it incredible how these elephants have such massive bodies, huge elephants, but yet they have the most amazing time swimming. They're actually quite buoyant as well, so they are very good swimmers, elephants. And throughout their lifetime, they'll have anything between 6 to 7 sets of teeth, with a total number of about 28 teeth that an elephant will have during its lifetime. And if all else goes well, and there are no other conditions or illnesses that may affect an elephant or anything else killing an elephant, sometimes a lot of elephants will actually suffer from not being able to eat. So a lot of elephant bulls, if they survive, they will actually run out of teeth. And if an elephant is on its last set of teeth, it makes it very difficult for them to actually feed. I have actually heard a female elephant, very old female elephant. She must have been somewhere around 50 years of age, and I've never seen such an old elephant before. And we were so close to her. She was tired. She had a long life, and we were so close to her. We could actually hear her struggling to chew. I think she was on her last set of teeth. Lots of Nyala coming to join us. We've got a warthog that's also come down to join us today. There's a lot of activity here at Tembe. Great to see so much activity. Looks like 2 Nyala bulls with a lot of females. How lucky are those Nyala bulls there? All the lovely ladies. Nice to see these Nyala coming down for a drink today. And it's crazy to believe that there's actually an elephant swimming in this little pan too. So between male Nyalas, you do get quite a prominent dominance hierarchy. So the males do kind of have to very much display their dominance on a regular occasion, and I love watching these male nyalas displaying. They kind of look like the Michael Jackson dance. It's very slow motion, almost break dance kind of movement where they display pilo erection. They have their fluff all kind of raised up on their backs, that beautiful crest of theirs, and they have their head kind of arched down, and they do this very weird Michael Jackson breakdance kind of move in circles around one another. They very rarely actually come into contact with each other, so because of those very sharp horns of theirs, they don't actually want to come into contact with each other. So they'll kind of do this very confident kind of dance, display, fight, duel, battle kind of interaction. And then, if need be, if there's no kind of clear, definite winner, then they might kind of clash and their horns if be, but generally, very interesting display to watch. So male nyala, obviously, as we described with this behavior, they are territorial and they do have home ranges within a place where the females, the ewes, will overlap the males' home ranges. So we've still got our elephant bull here. He's still enjoying some of this nice lush green vegetation. Oh, that is nice. A snack, afternoon snack for this elephant bull. So, Catherine, I will accept your challenge of how many mammal species we can get today. So, yeah, we've already done a few bird challenges, but why don't we see how many mammal species we can get today? So I see your record there is 11 mammal species in one live at the waterhole session. So let's see how many we can get. So we've got elephant already. Then we also have some nyala here that we saw, some males, beautiful males, and lots of female nyalas. We also had some warthog joining us earlier. I am determined to beat this number of 11. So let's see. We keep our eyes peeled. Maybe if you see something I don't, please feel free to let me know. Any little squirrels roaming around, or maybe some terrapins, that counts as well. So, folks, we are trying to see how many mammal species we can spot today. So, I know some of you have some very gigantic TVs back at home. So, if you could all help me keep your eyes and ears open and see how many animals we can spot today. This is mostly for mammals. So, please feel free to send through your comments of any mammals that I might have missed during the show. These elephant bulls on this side of the pan look like they are not getting up to any monkey business today. They're not up for swimming or any pool parties. They're more civilized, mature, older bulls that are obviously not up for that nonsense. They've just come down for a drink. So, Elijah, I agree with you there. I do love how these elephants tumble and roll over one another and just have the best time. And sometimes you see their feet up in the air, completely submerged, constantly like playing with each other. It's, yeah, very special to watch. I have on a few occasions been on some reserves. I mean, I love doing boat cruises, canoe safaris as well. So, on a few occasions, I've been on canoes or on boats with elephants swimming right next to us, and that was quite a treat to be so close to the elephants that they actually you can feel the wake of the waves next to you and watching them play. Absolutely incredible. I used to work at a reserve, Zululand, where we had to cross the Jozini Dam. I don't know if any of you know the Pongola Port Dam or Jozini Dam. So we would have a full day elephant searching mission to go and find some elephants over in Swaziland. So it was quite interesting. The reserve I worked on, they relocated some elephants from Kruger National Park onto the reserve Jozini Pongola Game Reserve, and after a few years, the elephants decided they wanted to move across to Swaziland. So that's why we would have to saddle up, take the boats out, go look for the elephants. And sometimes it would be the whole day, sometimes we would find them after 3 or 4 hours on the boat, and we could spend 3 to 4 hours just watching these elephants come down, watching them play in the water. It was very, very amazing experience to be able to do something like that. All right, so let's see how many mammals we can rack up today. Let's head over to King's Camp and see what's waiting for us at King's Camp. Hello, Mr. Giraffe. Nice to get another mammal off of our list here. This giraffe is looking a little bit thirsty. So we're going to add our giraffe to our list. This looks like a nice big male giraffe. Let's see if he's going to come down for a drink. Don't know if you could hear him drinking there. You could actually hear him sucking up the water, having a good old drink. It is lunchtime, so I guess he's probably worked up a bit of the thirst there. Can hear a black-backed puffback calling in the distance. He's checking something out. Hear him walking there. I wonder if he's got a plan for the rest of the day. He's like, I'm just going to go head over this way. See if I can find some food maybe over there. We'll see if I can find Steve or Larry, some of his other giraffe friends. I must say, giraffe are pretty lucky in the fact that they are super tall with those long necks of theirs. They can see other giraffe from a mile away. Or he might just decide to relax in the shade, just like these impala are doing. So nice. Must be a warm day if the impala are also relaxing in the shade like this. Perfect spot to be close to a watering hole with some shade. Looks like there's a little bit of grass left here. Reishabu. Yes, this is my first time at this King's Camp pan. So it's nice to see what wildlife we can see around here. So, oh, impala is another new mammal species we actually don't have. Add impala to the list. Shame it doesn't look like there's much in the regard of leaves there for that giraffe to feed on. It's incredible how giraffes have a very long tongue, from about 30 to 35 centimeters. Very long, slender blue tongue. If you ever see a giraffe feeding, I would grab my binoculars and have a good glance at that tongue of theirs. It's very long and blue, very hard as well, in order for them to be able to feed on the acacia branches that they do. You wrap that tongue of theirs around the branch and pull it down in order to get all the leaves off of the branch. Look, you can almost see his tongue. His tongue sticking out there. I know this time of the year, what is it? It's almost September. So generally end of August, September, the knobthorn trees start flowering with these very beautiful light yellow kind of, almost looks like pixie dust flowers that kind of scatter over the tops of all the knobthorn trees. And giraffe love to feed on those flowers. So do baboons, monkeys, a lot of insect species. If they fall on the ground, I'm sure kudu will also feed on them as well. So perfect time of the year for giraffe to get one of their favorite little treats, the flowers of a knobthorn tree. Trying to see what tree he's feeding on here. Again, this could be a knobthorn with the exact same color flowers I'm talking about. So they're generally in little spiral spindle kind of little round globule of flowers in these little, almost little finger-like shapes that you can see, especially on the right-hand side of the screen. And giraffe love to feed on those. You can hear those oxpeckers, obviously on the back of the giraffe there. Reaching up for those nice knobthorn flowers. So you'll see everything hiving, kind of rushing to these knobthorn trees at this time of year, all in search of those lovely flowers. And in some areas, they will all flower at the same time. So generally, the knobthorns, not every tree will flower every year. But in some areas, there'll be a flush where all the trees flower at the same time. It's generally only every 4 to 5 years. And when they do, I must say, it is absolutely incredible. So it's in September, middle of the dry season. Imagine everything's dry, nothing else. There's no greenery anywhere else. And especially in the same reserve I was talking about in Pongola, you get these valleys of just beautiful trees that look like they've been scattered with pixie dust, yellow pixie dust. There's impala also enjoying some shade. So giraffe are not necessarily an endangered species, although their population have been declining by about 40%. Oh, sorry, folks. Seems like we've had a little bit of a challenge with our camera. So we've just come back to Tembe to enjoy and watch these elephant bulls having a bit of a chill day. So I was just mentioning about the giraffe population and how their populations have decreased by about 40% between 1985 and 2015. Um, so they have been classified on the IUCN endangered species list as of least concern, although the kind of numbers do need to be monitored so that they don't become endangered. There's a little warthog coming to join us. We did have a warthog earlier. We came down for a bit of a drink. Maybe, if we're lucky, our female lions will come back today. So we had 2 lionesses yesterday that came to this exact watering hole for a drink. It's pretty epic, I must say. I did post some pictures of them on my story if you want to go check that out. 2 beautiful lionesses coming for a drink, and one of them looked like she was possibly lactating. She had a bit of a belly on her, so she could have some cubs nearby. Maybe if we're lucky, she might bring them back sometime soon. Lovely to see these green trees here at Tembe. It's looking very nice and green. These elephant bulls are just enjoying a nice, calm, relaxing afternoon in the shade. Bit of a dust bath here and there. The bull on the left has a pretty impressive set of tusks. Here our brown-hooded kingfisher calling in the background there. Those tusks are rather impressive, I must say. And we've got our little family of Egyptian geese also in the background having a bit of a grooming session. This is a very nice time of day, kind of you're hitting your peak temperatures of the day. So temperatures are rising, normally around between 1 to 2:30. That's when you'll generally have your hottest time of the day in southern Africa. It's a nice time for animals to enjoy the sunshine and the heat before it gets too hot. Can see by all the elephant dung around here and all the disturbance that this is a regular little elephant spa spot where a lot of elephants come and dust bath them quite regularly. So, Jacques, thanks for sending through your comment about the lions. Apparently, you've seen some lions here before, and I guess you're wondering how these elephants react to the lions. So, it was quite interesting. We did have elephants at the watering hole yesterday while the lions came in. And the elephants did not seem phased whatsoever. So, unlike a lot of other mammal species, for example, if they were impala or nyala or even kudu at this watering hole, while those lionesses came down, they will definitely, the smaller antelope will definitely alarm call, be quite startled, run away, or just be very, very wary and constantly watching the lions. Whereas with elephants, they're not too worried about lions being or posing much of a threat to them unless it is a small breeding herd of elephants that might have little ones with them. They might be worried about the lions if it is a kind of big pride of lions. They are known to hunt baby elephants, especially in Botswana, places of Zimbabwe, um, and even sub-adult elephants have been known to be hunted by lions, even hyenas. Um, you get these very big groups of hyena, clans of hyena, that are known to take down young and sub-adult elephants. Then we had the elephants, and having enjoyed watching a pool party earlier, which was pretty awesome to watch, I must say. And elephants will actually use their trunks as snorkels to help them. They're actually very, very good swimmers. They can swim up to 2 kilometers an hour, apparently, and that would be when crossing rivers. So, elephants are well known, like I mentioned earlier, in some regions for crossing rivers to get to different feeding areas or food sources. They can actually swim and are very good swimmers, even swimming upstream at times if need be. This young bull is trying to take up a bit of the cleaning spot, the sand bathing spot. Such intelligent animals, these elephants. Very, very intelligent. One of the best memories of all animals. So elephants can even, if they're being pestered or bothered by insect, they can even pick up small branches and chase flies away when need be. And for me, it's always very special to see, and sad at the same time, to see how intelligent elephants are, that if they pass a carcass, an elephant carcass, so say an old dead elephant, they will sometimes actually have a mourning moment for these elephants where they'll actually stop and also surround the bones, and while touching and feeling and sniffing the bones, maybe they remember the individual, or maybe they just know that it is another elephant that has passed. They will then have a moment of mourning, which is a sign of kind of very intelligent creature. So, Catherine, I can agree with you on there. I've never really seen elephants reacting to lions or leopards at all, or even yeah, have seen lions also, elephants also chasing wild dogs, but it's more like just an irritation, like get away from my water. Um, I've seen elephants reacting and responding to hyenas in the Congo. The hyenas, they are known as the apex predator, seeing as the last lions in Congo were shot in, well, this is in Brazzaville, Congo. The last recorded lions were shot in 1993. Although there are some forest lions lurking about in West Africa, in Gabon, in Central Africa. Well, maybe not Central Africa, but definitely Gabon, Congo, and Brazzaville, Congo. I'm not sure about DRC. They have had a reintroduction program for lions in Gabon on the plateau. So it is going to be very interesting to see how these lions do. I know African Parks is researching and looking into reintroducing lions into Brazzaville, Congo, and to Odzala National Park, which I'm sure is not going to be very popular for the guides and safari guests that go there because, yeah, walking in the forest with lions is not going to be very pleasant. But once upon a time, I did hear a forest lion calling in the forest once, many, many years ago, probably in 2015. And of course, when I got back to camp and told them we'd been stalking lions in the forest for 4 hours and it was definitely lions, of course, the sound was too far away to record anything. We were the laughing stock of camp. But then, less than a month later, less than 60 kilometers away from where we heard these lions calling, lions were actually recorded, or a lion was recorded on a camera trap in Gabon. Of course, very thin, mangy looking lions, not the lions we know of in southern Africa, but it is not impossible for these things to happen. And that's why I love some of these destinations so much, where, just like with nature, nothing is impossible, everything is possible. Oh, this elephant is just having such a good time. Check at him using his trunk as a snorkel while he is under the water. After this elephant has had his nice bath, he'll probably go and find a good tree to have a good old scratch on. Oh, we've got an African jacana, another little African jacana here. And you can see these yellow-billed storks. There's a juvenile amongst this group on the left there, juvenile. Oh, no, well, sorry, the one in the middle looks like he's a juvenile still has a bit of dark colors on his feathers and wings. So, an interesting question I get asked quite a lot while on safari is, do elephants sleep? So, because elephants have such large bodies and need to feed themselves so much and be feeding for such large portions of the day, they don't actually sleep for very long periods. If at the most they sleep for 4 to 5 hours within a 24-hour period, but it won't necessarily be consecutively sleeping for 4 hours. They might lie down or stand and rest and sleep for half an hour at a time here and there. Although I do have a friend, an elephant researcher, who, according to the books, elephants don't sleep for more than half an hour, 45 minutes at a time. But I know someone for a fact that she got stuck next to a sleeping elephant for 3 hours. And she kept thinking, any minute now this elephant must get up, because I think she was looking for some elephants, stopped in the bush somewhere for a bit of a drink, and next thing she heard a very loud breathing next to her, and it was actually an elephant breathing right next to her while it slept for 3 hours. So yeah, they don't necessarily need to sleep that much. They'll have a bit of a power nap here and there. Our little bee eaters have come back on the left here. Very cool to see our little bee eaters back out and about. Look at this elephant. His bum is in the air and he's just doesn't care. So we did start the show with quite a few elephant bulls. There was at least 5, 6, 7 bulls all having a great pool party. This seems to be the last bull that's left behind. The other older, more mature elephant bulls are enjoying a bit of a rest in the shade. What a lovely sunny afternoon. Nice to see those nyala coming down. I wonder if any other mammals are going to join us here today. These elephant bulls that we're seeing today down here must come down to these watering holes at least once a day or every second day to drink. That's with the bulls, and obviously the youngsters with little babies do need to come at least once a day. So if you are driving around in any national parks and wondering kind of what the peak periods are for elephants to drink, it will generally always be in the mornings and the evenings. But generally, late afternoons is the best time to find elephants drinking, or from midday to the afternoon is when it starts getting hot. So when I'd say the best time to find elephants drinking. And elephants can walk as far as 70 to 80 kilometers a day between looking for food and looking for water. In desperate times, elephants can go up to 3 or 4 days without water, like a big bull like this. But, for example, mothers or breeding herds with youngsters, they would need to drink a lot more often. And elephants will drink anything from about 200 to 250 liters a day. That's about for a bull elephant, and a cow will drink between 90 to about 150 liters of water per day. Imagine drinking 200 liters of water a day. I struggle with my 4 liters of water a day. So, yeah, that is a lot of water. I guess this elephant is kind of like an only child human. He's just very happy to play and entertain himself. Why don't we just have a bit of a reflecting, quiet moment, folks, to just watch and enjoy this elephant bull, have a bit of a swim, take some deep breaths, do some yoga, just close your eyes if need be, and just listen to the magical sounds of nature. Alrighty, folks, we have an awesome sound of a tropical boo-boo calling in the background there. I don't know if you can hear him. In the meantime, seems like we've not got too much happening here. Why don't we head over to one of our other locations and maybe check out Ukukuyu and see what's happening in Namibia. Nice, folks. We can take some more mammal species off of our list here. We have got some springbok to make it to number 6 on our mammal species for the day. So we were chatting yesterday about springbok versus your Thompson's gazelle. So springbok, very common in your kind of west, central, and southern African regions. So Namibia, South Africa, whereas your Thompson's gazelle is more common in East Africa and it has a much smaller distribution. So the area that it occurs is a lot smaller than that of the springbok. So springbok is a lot more common within these regions. Shame. Compared to Tembe, you can see how dry it is out here in Namibia. I must say, I did thoroughly enjoy my trip this year to Namibia. It was my first time to travel Namibia so extensively, and I've actually been to this exact location here in Ukukuyu over Namibia. And look, we've got a small elephant breeding herd standing in the shade of what looks like a Combretum imberbees or mouse-eared Combretum. Must be a rather warm day. We have some blacksmith plovers calling in the background, as well as what sounds like a Cape crow. So yeah, my experience of Namibia was really great. I had a great time in Namibia. While we are looking for mammal species, another thing we can look out for here is obviously maybe some oryx in the distance. If we're lucky, maybe we'll get one of those giant ground squirrels. Oh, they kept me entertained at the campsite at Ukukuyu here for quite some time. I was on my belly with my camera, taking pictures of these little ground squirrels. Looks like there's quite a cute little baby elephant on the left-hand side there. Wow, that's a tiny little guy. So if a little elephant can fit under its mother's stomach, generally means it's kind of less than 6 months. If it can no longer fit under the stomach of the mother, that means it's kind of over the age of 6 months. So you can kind of use the mother as a good guesstimation, as we call it, as to their age. So because there's so much that we don't know with wildlife, it's very difficult to get accurate answers when it comes to a lot of questions that we get asked every day as a guide. Um, but it's always good to give at least a guesstimation. I like that word. It is a very good word. If you give an exact age, you might most likely be quite inaccurate. So I like to say the word guesstimation. It's generally safer. Nice big ball coming in here. So it's quite interesting to just note the difference between the tusks. We saw some really nice big tuskers over in Tembe, long big tusks as opposed to these elephants here in Namibia, in Etosha. You can see the tusks are a lot smaller, very kind of jagged, broken off. Could be because of, again, it's the drought this year, so not much food for them. So the elephants are feeding on a lot more bark and wood, having to use their tusks a lot more to feed. But also, it could be some sort of mineral deficiency, which is causing these elephants to not have very strong tusks. Obviously, it is very dry as well in Namibia, and that does not help with elephants' tusks. It does cause a lot of cracking within their elephants' tusks. So Andrew is asking about where the biggest elephant tuskers can be found. So obviously one of our locations in Oldonyo. Over in Kenya, we have one of the big tuskers there, 1 ton, that made an appearance last week. I got to see him for the first time. So I must say I was really excited about that, to see 1 ton. So the biggest tuskers that are left in Africa are within Kenya, Tanzania, and obviously there are quite a few big tuskers still left in Kruger National Park. So quite interesting to just see these elephant bulls here in Namibia, how small and stumpy their tusks are compared to the ones we were just watching over in Namibia. Sorry, I mean over in Tembe, Namibian elephants. Although their bodies are still quite big, these Namibian elephants, their tusks are just not as quite impressive. All right. Well, while we are on our mammal checking or mammal list, why don't we go over to olifants and see if we've got a new mammal to possibly check off of our list over in Olifants River in South Africa. Yes, we have another mammal to add to our list. I'm super excited. That puts us at 7 mammal species. We have one of our regular viewers that has a record of 11 mammal species that we need to beat for the day. I am only slightly a little bit competitive, let's say that. So let's see if we can smash that number of 11. So coming in at number 7, we have a beautiful male kudu here browsing on an acacia tree. You can see why it is so important that these kudu have such long legs and a very long neck in order to feed on the vegetation up high on these trees. There's another, looks like there could be another individual that might be coming out from this acacia tree. Oh, there we go. Got another female. Obviously you can see in the kudu world, not both male and females don't have horns, only males have horns. So it could be young male with a few females. This is quite a youngster, this bull. I wouldn't say he's fully sexually mature. I think kudus generally sexually mature between the ages of, let's say, from about 5 to 7 years of age is when they're sexually mature, but their horns really start getting impressive at closer to 10. The closer they get to 10, that's when their horns obviously have reached their full length in spirals, and the spirals start getting thicker by the year. And it's a good way of aging these kudu bulls. My favorite antelope, I must say, is the bongo, which is one of the cousins of the kudu. Some kind of very similar. So to me, the bongo looks like a combination of a female. It's got the coloration of a female Inyala, but it does have horns like a male Inyala, and they are a very, very beautiful antelope species. So if you are sitting watching the show right now, you have your phone close by, grab that phone of yours, ask Siri or Google bongo, bongo, the bongo antelope, and you will see how beautiful those bongo antelope are. Very, very impressive antelope, I must say, mostly occurring in West Africa, in the forests of in the equatorial forests of West Africa. Very rare and elusive antelope. Again, it is much sought after from the hunters. So unfortunately, they have been hunted quite a bit, but they are still occurring in the forests of West Africa, in DRC, Gabon, Central African Republic, and even into some parts of Cameroon. I believe there is also a bongo that is occurring more further north. Oh, okay. I know this path is very well used by vervet monkeys and baboons. And I also know that there's a few bushbuck that like to hang out at this specific spot. So thank you to our Zoomy friend for helping us scan about for some mammals. I'm really determined to get our mammals for today. Is this a young bushbuck? Nice. So we do not have bushbuck on our list for today. So isn't that cool? We've got a lot of these antelope, similar family. We've got the bushbuck, nyala, and a kudu. So coming in at number 8 for our mammals checklist for the day, we have a male bushbuck. I know in this little thicket area there's a few males that reside here, as well as a few little female bushbuck. Maybe we'll get some baboons, monkeys, squirrels, terrapins. I know these little crocodile that sometimes hangs out here. So Brenda, thank you for your question. Yes, Brenda. So a lot of different antelope species that occur within a lot of different regions of Africa. So all depending kind of on the habitat and food available. That is what determines what antelope species will occur within a different region. So like, for example, this is a riverine thicket area. Oh, vervet monkey, nice, coming in at number 9. Heading straight towards the camp. I'm sure he's going to cause absolute mischief and mayhem. I'm not very fond of vervet monkeys, I must say. Vervet monkeys and baboons are great to watch, but they are nice from far, but far from nice when they're too close up. So they can be quite little terrorists when they become too used to people. So wild baboons and monkeys are always the best. And just a reminder, if you're ever staying at a camp or coming to visit Africa, please do not feed the monkeys, because it causes a whole other trouble. They can be quite a nuisance. Alrighty, folks. So just to give us a tally on what is already on our list for the day of mammals. So we've got impala already. So our list for the day, bringing us at 9, was our vervet monkey. And on our list, we have elephants. We've got nyala, warthog, giraffe, impala, springbok, kudu, bushbuck, and vervet monkey. So that is bringing us to 9 mammals for the day. So we are trying to beat 11. And I know that a lot of our viewers have huge TV screens back at home. I mean, on the live drive, sometimes you folks sitting at home can see more than we can actually see being live. So if anybody sees any mammals that we might miss, please let me know. This riverine habitat that we're looking at right here is perfect to look out for, obviously, hippos, crocodiles, bushbuck. This is their territory, habitat, perfect habitat for bushbuck. Baboons, monkeys, always spend a lot of time here. Obviously, waterbuck, kudu. We haven't got waterbuck on our list for today, so that would be pretty epic to get some waterbuck. Don't forget about the little critters too. Sometimes we always are focusing on the big creatures, and I love taking time to also admire the smaller creatures. So maybe we could find some squirrels here, some mopani tree squirrels. Maybe we could find a crocodile down in the riverbed. Maybe we could find a slender mongoose or dwarf mongoose. That would also be pretty epic. Kind of looking out on all the spots where you'd find something, maybe on the logs, digging. What else is out there, folks? What else is out there? Please send through your comments if you can see anything that we might have missed. Dying to see. What else is out there? We haven't seen any baboons yet. Chakma baboons would be cool. Maybe a squirrel in this tree. Maybe a snake. Snake would be cool too. Maybe puffadder, python, vine snake. Nyala up. Our bushbuck friend is still there. Maybe down in the river we might get a little crocodile. I know there's a small crocodile that likes to hang out down in the riverbed there. We can also keep a lookout for monitor lizards. I know monitor lizards are very much water dependent in some areas. So you can often find them down by the water. Alrighty, folks, we don't seem to be having much happening here, so why don't we head over to Ukukuyu and see what else is waiting for us in Ukukuyu. Looks like those two elephant bulls that we left here just now have decided to have a little bit of a pool party. You can hear the Cape crows calling. I do love how the springbuck come into this pan as well. You can tell, shame. Obviously, it is rather hot here in Namibia at the moment, yeah, in their summer months. And yeah, the animals are enjoying having a bit of a cool off. So, the topic of the day that I would like to bring up, folks, is the interesting did you knows. So I don't know if anyone's ever had those little chappies bubble gums. In South Africa, we have these little bubble gums called chappies, and inside these little chappies bubble gums, you get little did you know quotes. And during COVID, I don't know if any of our production team also had the same experiences during COVID when you were bored at home with your friends. You would certainly eat chappies and read out the did you knows on the inside of the wrapper. So yeah, from that time, kind of really loved fun facts of did you knows. So for my did you know for today, I would like to talk about cordyceps. I don't know if any one of you have ever heard of the cordyceps fungi or zombie fungi. I'm very much interested by these fungi. I did see a few of them in Congo while I was there. I've seen a cordyceps ant, two cordyceps ants, as well as a cordyceps grasshopper. But recently I was shared a video of a cordyceps that actually infected a spider, a tarantula, which for me is crazy. I just read about these things. I've read that obviously the cordyceps fungi can infect anything from, and yeah, any insects, praying mantises, worms, grasshoppers, ants, spiders. I know there's cordyceps that can apparently infect small birds as well. I'm not too sure if that's 100% correct, but I've never seen a tarantula infected by cordyceps. And obviously, these funguses in China, they are doing a lot of research on this cordyceps fungi to actually see that it can be used to treat a lot of ailments. It's got very, very high medicinal properties. And basically, how these cordyceps work is it's actually a fungi. So I've done quite a bit of research on these cordyceps, and how it works is the spores, which are spread from an infected individual down onto the ground. So, for example, an ant that has been infected with spores, those spores will then fall down onto the ground and infect a new victim. This fungi actually gets into the brain and the mind of its victim and actually controls its victim. And it always makes the victim go up to the highest spot. So, for example, if an ant or a grasshopper gets infected, they will actually control their victim. So, it's like a mind control and get their victim to go up to a high spot, maybe on a leaf or a branch or a stick, whereby they will, if it's an ant, actually latch onto the stick. So that's a sign that it is an insect or a creature that has been infected by cordyceps. You'll see it biting onto a little stalk or a piece of a branch. And then that is when the fungus starts protruding out of its prey's victim's head. So it actually takes over the whole body and actually slowly kills its prey. And this cordyceps fungi then starts growing outside of its victim's head, generally looking like either two tentacles or two little stalks coming out the front. But yeah, there's a crazy video of a tarantula or was baboon spider that got infected by cordyceps. Very, very strange tentacles coming out. I'll share it on my Instagram if anyone wants to have a look. Pretty crazy, isn't it insane? The zombie fungus or cordyceps that infect living creatures. And then again, obviously the cycle repeats itself. So once these little antennas, so obviously, as we all know, the mushroom part of fungi is actually just the fruiting body. All the mycelium network will be underground, or in this case, the fungus's mycelium network will actually be inside its prey, while the fungus, which would be the fruiting parts of the body or fruiting parts of the fungus, shoot out the top of the head or out of parts of its prey, and then obviously create then spores, which then the spores blow down onto the ground and infect new victims. So it's pretty incredible. Amazing studies have been done on this cordyceps fungi. I know China's doing a lot of work with it. And yeah, it can be used to actually enhance immunity, reduce inflammation. It's actually, they're finding some studies that they can actually use it to enhance exercise performance. So it's incredible what they are using these cordyceps for and what these fungus actually zombie fungus can actually take over so many different creatures. Isn't that incredible? Mind control from a fungus, a zombie fungus. So, Mercedes Ben, thank you for your comment. Yes, whoa, nasty, nasty fungus, zombie fungus. I did hear there was apparently some studies that of a cordyceps that could possibly infect humans. Again, I think there's still studies being done to prove this. I'm not too sure, but if there is a fungus that can infect a human brain, I think we should all be a little bit concerned. But as of yet, that's not proven yet. And And we also got another question from Leah about what snakes can be found in Okukuyu, so over in Kenya. So this habitat, this rocky, kind of very hot terrain would be perfect for your snakes like your puff adders, your night adders, and I wouldn't be surprised if you found other snakes like your probably like cobras, your king cobras like hot terrain. Probably be a very good environment for them, but definitely your puff adder and your night adder would be something to watch out for in this rocky terrain. So again, if you're ever stranded in the wilderness, I would always be very careful when lifting up any logs or rocks, not just one for snakes, but two for scorpions. You do not want to be bitten by some of these nasty black rock scorpions that are also occurring here in Namibia. Very big, nasty black scorpion, small pincers, a rather large tail, and I tell you, if that thing stings you, you're going to be in a bit of pain for a while. Talking about scorpions, I have seen a picture of a cordyceps that also infected a scorpion too. And interesting, did you know for scorpions, I don't know if you knew that little baby scorpions actually ride on the backs of their mother. So she uses her body to transport her babies from one place to the next. And what other mammals are at this location? Let's have a squiz, see some birds. I think there's a dab chick there or little grebe, ringneck dove calling. This elephant, he is super chilled, smelling quite a lot. You can see him with his trunk, giving everything a good sniff. Alrighty, folks. While we are on our mammal checklisting mission for the day, why don't we head across to Nkoro and see if we can find any more mammal species at Nkoro? We have a hippopotamus coming in at the number 10 on our mammals checklist for the day. Super exciting. 10 mammal species already. And looks like this is our old hippo bull that has been hanging out at this pan here at Nkoro for the last, let's say 2 or 3 weeks. Looks like he was having a pretty nice Tuesday afternoon nap. Oh, sorry, midday nap. This is an old hippo bull that he's very lucky that this pan is being pumped at the moment, because if it wasn't for this pan being pumped, he would have had to continue moving onto a new area looking for a watering hole that he could reside in. So at this time of year, hippos are very much vulnerable to losing their pans or watering holes, with all the watering holes drying up, only the larger watering holes kind of still being available with water for the hippos. And I saw it in the Delta already 2 months ago. Was it 3 months ago in the Okavango Delta? Obviously, there is a very much a lacking of water in the Delta, and this is causing a lot of conflicts amongst the hippo community because there's not enough space in the water for all of these hippos to live. So that will cause a lot of big bulls to start fighting with one another. So this hippo has landed himself surely in the butter by finding a nice pan that's being pumped, no competition, where he can live out his days in peace. So, Rondell Taylor, thank you for following up on my zombie fungus conversation. We were just chatting about zombie fungus just now, or cordyceps. And yes, there's a very good documentary. There's quite a few out now, but one of my favorite is obviously with the David Attenborough. And yeah, he very nicely describes and takes you through a video of how the zombie life cycle goes. Very interesting fungus. Actually, my boyfriend has some sort of cordyceps elements for different kind of health benefits that he was, yeah, doing a bit of studies on to see different kind of, yeah, health benefits that it might have. I do know with these things you do need to put a lot of time into the research and study. But yeah, China is very, very convinced that these cordyceps have a lot of very beneficial health medicinal uses. So yeah, very interesting to see how the world is looking at fungi in a different light at the moment. I know if you're interested in fungi, and you should definitely check out Fantastic Fungi on Netflix. It's a very, very good documentary all about fungi and how important fungus is actually in the kind of circle of life. So much more value to fungus than we realize. So Jenna from the UK is asking about if the hippo population in Africa is good at the moment. And yes, Jenna, hippo population is pretty stable at the moment, I would say. They're definitely not on any threatened species list of the ICUN. Yeah, so their populations are stable. They don't have much to worry about. There's a lot of other species out there that definitely need a lot of protection, but hippos are not one of them. All right, folks, while we're on our mammal checklisting mission, why don't we head back to Olifants River and see what other mammals we have waiting for us? And we have a beautiful female waterbuck lying in the sun, coming in at number 11. Catherine, I don't know if you're still with us. We have hit your target of 11 mammal species, so we're hoping to break that record. So I hope that all of our viewers at home are keeping your eyes wide open and helping me find some more mammals. This waterbuck looks like she's really enjoying the afternoon sunshine. Just a female on her own. I'm sure there must be some other female waterbuck with her. Generally, the social structure of waterbuck is you do have solitary males, but you also have females that hang out in smaller groups, anything from 2 to about 5 or 6 individuals. And generally, the females are hopefully accompanied by a male. See, very fluffy fur, these waterbuck. We were talking about yesterday how waterbuck have glands with a very foul smelling liquid that kind of coats their skin in order to give them a waterproof protective layer so that they can spend a lot of time in the water. Let's see what other mammals are waiting for us. We don't have baboon yet, so if anyone spots a baboon, that would be a good one. Looks like we've got another kudu there. Kudu is already on our list, but nice to see a nice, beautiful, young female kudu. So waterbuck obviously are very much preyed upon by a lot of prey species. Oh, we got a warthog there. The warthog is number 3 on our list. We did have some warthog over in Tembe. Looks like a young male warthog coming to look for something to eat. So waterbuck are very prone to, obviously they're very comfortable in the water, and one of their defenses, anti-predatory defenses, is if they are chased, especially by like wild dogs, for example, waterbuck will actually run and jump into the water to get away from predators. So that's quite an interesting anti-predatory defense mechanism that these waterbuck have developed. And of course, wild dogs are not too fond of water, so they won't necessarily follow the waterbuck into the water. Where are our baboons? Or maybe a crocodile in the water. Looks like our bushbuck male has kind of changed positions a bit. Anyways, I think we might have found some baboons at one of our other locations. Why don't we go and check Tembo Plains and see, maybe we have some mammals waiting for us. And coming in at number 12, we have some chakma baboons, folks. Very excited to have 12 mammal species for today's session of Live at the Waterhole. So we've managed to break our record for the day, the chakma baboons. Again, always a little bonus to find on game drives, especially if you are having a bit of a quiet drive. There's nothing about, especially in the late afternoons or early mornings when the baboons are all either coming down from their roosting spots or making their way up to their roosting spots. There's always a lot of entertainment with watching baboons, all their communication and lots of mischievous little ones, always getting up to no good. So kind of just watching these baboons in this open grassland area. We'll probably be looking for some food, digging, seeing what we can find before they have to end their day, head up to their roosting spots. So baboons will often roost in the same communal roosting spot every night. And if you walk underneath this tree, you will definitely know that that's where baboons have been sleeping. Any other mammals out there? Not an impala. Could be an impala. Yep. Oh, nice big male waterbuck. Nice. So we've got the female waterbuck on the Olifants River. Now we have, looks like 2 male waterbuck. Yeah, also probably going down for that green grass in the kind of little, where the pan used to be. Probably still some green grass left. Frank Ramatra, yes, I'm super excited. We have broken Catherine's record for the day of 12 species. If I could get one or two more by the end of the show, I'll be rather excited. But I guess 12 is not bad. 12 mammal species. And a good day for me on birds is, I think my highest was 24 bird species in one session of live at the waterhole. Or this most recent, last week, we got between 15 to 17, and I think yesterday we managed to get 20 bird species, so that was a pretty good day. So birds sitting at about 20 to 25 was a good day for live at the waterhole. And mammals, we have managed to hit 12 mammal species for the day. There's still a few extra we could get, hoping to maybe get some crocodile or a terrapin or a monitor lizard at one of the locations. So if there are any around, we are having a good scout, trying to see where else we can find. Mapani tree squirrel would be a good one. Those are pretty easy. All the little critters that we don't see or maybe overlook sometimes. So thanks, Mr. Frank. We are super excited. Ooh, looks like a ground hornbill. Got a nice sighting of a ground hornbill here. I know it's not a mammal species, but pretty epic to see a ground hornbill. But folks, seeing as our time is running out, I think we might be able to get another mammal species at Founders Lodge. So let's link across to Founders and see what mammal is waiting for us there. Oh my goodness, folks, look at this epic sighting of sable antelope, number 13 on our list. And what an amazing sighting this is. 3 beautiful female sable. Nice big male on the right hand side. Looks like a juvenile there. So beautiful sighting of these sable here, folks. You can see these youngsters, their horns are still a little bit short. This one on the right has a bit of a not so even or straight horn. Maybe he got into a fight of some sort, but really epic to see a sable antelope here at Founders Lodge. This is my first time seeing sable here. We've had some pretty amazing sightings here the last couple of days. At Founders Lodge, we had warthog yesterday, some nice rhino sightings, and of course, lovely sighting today of sable. Coming down for a nice afternoon drink, you can see the 2 females that were here do look a little bit round, so they could be pregnant at this time, waiting to drop their youngsters. It was quite nice to see the males and female together, so you could see the contrasting difference between the colors. Male's a deep pitch black color. The female has quite a lot more brown on her than the males, and her horns are obviously not as impressive as the male. So quite cool how with the sable, both male and female do have horns. Look at those horns on that beautiful male sable there. You'll horn length of these males can be anything from about 2 to 2.6 meters in length. And a big male like that is probably weighing at about 180 to 270 kilograms. So quite a heavy weight for a antelope. Females are probably a bit lighter, probably between 160 to 200 kilo to about 180 kilograms. Look at this youngster checking us out. Look at the reflection in the water there. It's pretty epic to see that. Beautiful reflection of this female sable. So yeah, herd sizes of these sable can be anything from about 3 or 4 females and 1 male, up to shucks, I've seen bigger herds of 15, 20 individuals with a couple of males. I do love their very unique colorations and markings on their face, and they have a heart-shaped nose. Have a look there, isn't that cute? I do like their fluffy, frizzy manes. Very fluffy. You can see this pregnant female as well here. What a lovely picture that is right there. What else is waiting out there for us? Yes, Catherine, I did notice that the sable bull was looking quite plump and round as well. Definitely must be in quite good condition. You can see in the Eastern Cape here, there's still quite a nice amount of grass, and the environment still looks like maybe they had a bit of late rains, which is kind of helping to keep the grass cover, and everything still has a bit of greenery. It's very nice to see, especially at like September. Very good to see that there is a lot of greenery in that area. Of course, the acacia species are very important during these dry seasons because they provide so much food to a lot of wildlife, not just because of the leaves, but also the flowers and the pods. Alrighty, folks, let's link across to Victoria Falls and see what else we can find at Victoria Falls Safari Lodge. Well, we have some marabou stalks here. It's nice that, yeah, marabou stalks seem to be quite irregular at this pan here. And we also have our flock of helmeted guinea fowl, also residing in the shade, getting out of the heat of the day. Egyptian geese also coming to enjoy the watering hole. We did have a squawker heron yesterday here on the right-hand side. Looks like he was adamantly in hunting position. So could have been trying to make a bit of a hunt. Not sure if he's still around. But yeah, and looks like we also have a black crake that is at the back there behind our marabou stalk. Yes, cat fan, we are crossing our fingers for possibly another species. Let's actually see, maybe we can scan and see. There was a crocodile here yesterday. That would bring us up to 14. So yeah, there was a little crocodile, an escapee that could have escaped from the crocodile farm. So maybe we will try to have a bit of a scan across this pan. Maybe if we're lucky, we can pick up one more species by the end of the show. You can also see some vulture still hanging out of the pan, some hooded vulture on the other side of the pan there. Black crake is walking on the shore on the other side of the bank. Where has our little crocodile gone? You can see some elephant tracks just in the foreground here as well. That's pretty cool to see these elephant tracks. So they almost look illuminated on the ground here, which is pretty cool to see. Nice fresh elephant tracks. Sounds like a little tinkerbird in the background there, the little high-pitched tree. Could be one of the tinkerbirds, red-fronted tinkerbird or yellow-rumped tinkerbird. And that tree sound in the background. We are scanning our other locations, looking to see if we can get one more mammal species for the day, even if it's a terrapin or monitor lizards. So why don't we quickly shoot across to Djuma and have our fingers crossed maybe we get another species on Djuma Game Reserve. Alrighty, folks. Lots of activity here in Juma. So we have ourselves to giraffe. So giraffe is number 4 on our list. Very interesting sound. Sounds like the could be a Warburg's eagle calling in the distance there, and a go-away bird. Trying to get one more species for our species list of the day. We have 13 species. Trying to get 14. No, it's a bit far from here, but you can have quite a nice view of these two giraffe that have decided to cross the road, make their way to other parts of Juma. It's been a while since I was at Juma, so nice to see how Juma's doing. It looks a little bit more dry than last time I was there, but still nice to see a bit of greenery. Two male giraffe. Still scouting to hopefully find some more mammals. I know that on Juma, especially in this area around the dam, there are a few dwarf mongoose dens. So maybe we get a dwarf mongoose, a squirrel, terrapin, lizard, a Galway bird, a grey Lowry, giving us a vocalization. And that giraffe seemed to have a bit of an itchy eye. Go-away bird calling there. Beautiful jackalberry tree. I know that tree is a very popular leopard spot. Having a leopard drop out of that tree might be cool. Alrighty, folks. Well, we've done pretty well today, 13 mammal species, so really excited about that. Thank you for joining me here live at the waterhole. I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Please join us for the sunset safari to see what is happening on our locations. From me and the rest of the Wild Earth team, have a fabulous Tuesday afternoon.